Good morning, everyone. Every time I thought of standing in front of you and in the assembly, and addressing it, it always, inadvertently make me think that, what a big shoes to fill. That's what the principal has left. Because every time he speaks, it's so clear and profound that whatever you are trying to say seems so little. But on the other hand, we have our own perspective. And what I would like to say is, no matter how big a shoes to fill, you don't have to fill the whole shoes, but at least a part of it, if you feel, is good enough. So today I will be talking to you about an experience that I have during my college life, sitting like you in the assembly. That is one of the most enjoyable moments that I have in the college. And it also changed my way of thinking. I don't know how many of you experienced that. So that fateful morning, it was Dr. Anil Wilson during my time. So every morning he will come and tell us a short story, and based on that he will elaborate. Today, of course, we have the reading and then elaborated on that. It is a little bit on that part as well, but it will be a little bit on, not too much on the context of the Bible, but still it's based on Christian. Now, the story goes like this, that a guy was walking on a road. And then he saw that in front of him, he saw an angel walking with a torch on his left hand and a water of bucket on the right, carrying and walking in front of him. Now, in curiosity, the guy asked, "Where are you going and what are you doing with the torch and the bucket of water?" Now the angel answered, saying that, "I'm going to go and torch heaven, and I'm going to put out the fire of hell. And then I will see how many people actually love God." Now that tickles my brain, tickles my thinking. Because as a Christian, though you're not a Christian, every religion has certain amount of punishment and, heaven, nirvana, and all those things. So you can relate to that if you're not a Christian. So from childhood, I've been told that if I do bad, I'll go to hell. And I have to change myself to be acceptable to heaven. Now, as a child, who's not afraid of hell, right? Or who's not afraid of punishment? How many of you are, for example, in the Hindu mythology, in the Hindu culture, you don't want to be born like a dog. Born as a dog, right? Because of your wrongdoing. The same for Buddhists and all. Punishment everybody is afraid of. So, all my life, I live my life with fear, thinking that I'll go to hell if I'm not good. But on that day, I thought, but fear is not good enough. Everybody knows that. If fear has been a good stick to take you to, good beating stick to take you to the right path, I suppose almost everyone would have been quite obedient and the world would have been such a beautiful place, right? So it makes me think, on that day, why should I believe in God or follow Him? It's not because I'm afraid of Him, but because of the longing, craving for righteousness, justice, and impartiality. Right? Now, our reading says about loving God. Every religion also talks about why and how you should love God, right? We should love God with all our heart, our devotion. Now, what is a devotion? It makes me ask. And who am I worshipping? It even questions the kind of God I am worshipping. Now, I don't know about you, but from that day on, my thoughts developed. And my God, the God that I worship, itself changed. You know, you can change the God you worship even though you are in a particular religion. It's a beautiful thing if you think about it, that you are shaping your own God. In a way, it seems a bit vulgar, but it is a truth. Before I realized it, I was trying to worship a God of whom I was expecting something from. Every time I pray, I expect Him to bless me, rescue me, right? And will have a favor over me more than other people. I mean, everybody does have that feeling, right? That I am special to God, right? So I was worshiping a God from whom I want a lot of favor. But then from that day on, I realized who I should be worshiping. I wanted to worship a God who is just, who is impartial, right? Who is righteous, and who is blameless. Now, every God who is partial is not blameless, right? If he's partial to you, why should he not? Why should he? Why should he discriminate on the others? I mean, then he becomes not a completely blameless, right? So in that line, my thought changed and developed in such a way that I pray to God to thank Him that I am accepted as anybody else. From there on, I don't expect to be favored, but I expect to get what I truly deserve. But that if I am to truly deserve it, I have to work for it, right? And then that also makes me love God in the true way that I should love Him. I don't love Him because I'm not going to hell or I'm going to heaven, but I love Him because He's so just. He's a kind of justice. He's so righteous. And in appreciation of that, I don't expect anything back. Now, in this world, we expect something for everything that we do. We worship God because we hope that He bless us. We do good because we feel good. We expect to feel good every time we do something nice and good, right? How many of you really think about this? When you're doing or helping somebody, you're expecting something. How do you know that you are expecting something? Because if the person simply say, I don't need your help and all, then he say, we are trying to help, and he's he's so proud. He doesn't even like our help. And you feel bad and started criticizing. Now, that also shows that you are trying to get something out of it, right? But if you're really helping out of love, when people don't need your help, you should be happy about it because they can stand on their own. It happens so many times in this world that a person, I have seen a lot of times, that a person is helping on another person. And when that person could stand on his own somehow and stop bothering the other guys, and for example, he stopped talking to the guy for a certain expectation, up to the expectation of the helper, then the person who helped will start saying, I have been helping him, now he's standing on his own. He doesn't even bother to say hi to me. What does that mean? It means that you always expect him to be below you, right? Always looking up to you, even though he has gained some foothold. Now, you still expect him to look up to you because you have helped him. That's the kind of attitude human beings have. Now that brings me to why I revere God so much, and the kind of belief I have, is because in spite of being such a powerful God, right, omnipotent and omniscient, He respects my choice. That is a very important thing. Today you may think that God doesn't intervene, God doesn't do what He has to do. How many of you blame it? But to me, that is the most appreciable character of God, that He doesn't intervene. I mean, if you are that powerful, who will not intervene? I mean, look at the human beings. The moment they have some power, they always intervene. They always exploit, or they always, pull other people to their own whim and their own desire. How many times have you seen any kind of human being, I mean, including me, I will always intervene the moment I have power. But God doesn't, in spite of all His power. That is one of His ultimate godliness, that He doesn't intervene in your life so that you can have a choice. If you understand that, if you really grasp the depth of that, then you, as a human being, will learn to respect the choice of your neighbor, your friends, and other people. Once you do that, your life in itself will be enlightened. How? Because you will not feel so pissed off when somebody do something else. Why do we get pissed off when somebody do something else? I mean, angry, and you wanted to go and tell him that, I mean, like he's so stupid or anything like that, right? Why? Because you wanted to intervene. You feel that you know better than them, and you don't respect their choice, right? In a certain way. So, finally what I would like to say is, you have to think why you are worshiping God and for what purpose. Are you trying to worship a God that favors you? Or are you worshiping a God who is just and true? And another thing is, what are the characters that you see in God? Right? That shapes and make Him respect. If God respect your choice, then you have the duty. God of such power, respect your choice, your conscience. Then you have a duty to respect that of others. Thank you.